Hi friends, this is Priyanka. In today's video, we are going to paint Christmas ornaments. Now this is a very easy and typical Christmas ornament to be painted, and I am going to start with the basics. So as you can see, I am first drawing a rough sketch of my Christmas ball, which you have often seen. You can use it as a decoration just for the Christmas tree, or even as a centerpiece on the dining table sometimes. So over here my inspiration is that I'm going to make a Christmas ball, and there is a small red bow on top of it, and it's hanging from the Christmas tree. So this is my sketch, and I am just going to start with the background. Now why the background? Because my focus is the Christmas ornament and not the tree in itself at the moment. So I'm using a very pale shade of green, and I'm just coloring it with lots and lots of water. As you see here, I'm not following any lines. I just drew few strokes to give me direction where the leaves are gonna go. Once the first layer is somewhat dried up, I am going to put the second layer of the tree leaves. Now that is the only reason why my color is a little more darker, the pigmentation is a little higher, because I want it to stand out. I will keep on adding layers, and that's pretty much it for the Christmas ball as well as the tree. It's all about layering. It's all about how the same color with a little bit of extra pigmentation, how they would complement each other. So it's not very difficult. I mean, if you are new for painting, this can be an excellent project. You can make it a very big canvas painting out of it, or even a small, just for practice, just to try out your paintbrushes. So as you see here, I keep adding the same color with a little less water than before, and just keep making the simple strokes. Now in case you do end up making a wrong stroke, say for example, or the Christmas ball has a bit of green, again, you don't have to worry about it. This is very easy. All you need to do is just take a clean paintbrush with a little extra water and just wipe off the color. Yeah, and you can use a facial tissue or a kitchen towel just to wipe it off. Don't rub your paper. I mean, we don't want it to get spoiled, but as long as your paint is wet, it is easy. It's easier than the other circumstances, so it's a little easier to rectify your errors. So as you see here, I have again introduced another color of green. I just wanted the tree leaf to look a little more fresh. Usually the darker color would be advisable, but it's my painting. I just felt that this is right. So yeah, that's how it is. So if you want to choose another color, nowadays we see Christmas trees, the ones which we get from the factory, they are even silver in color, or you would see not the more usual colors like red. When you think of a Christmas tree, you think red ornament balls or silver perhaps. Now there is blue, purple, you name it. It's about your creativity, what you're feeling like, and also sometimes what your house furniture looks like, so you can mix and match. So once my background is good and I'm happy with it, I'm going to start with the ornament ball. I am not choosing one single color. I could have just taken red, added a lot of water, and just added some dark shades of red on one side and really light shades of red on the other. That can work. But I wanted it to be somewhat the multiple colors. Like when we are looking at a shiny object from a distance, we see the reflection of ourselves or the stuff around it. So I wanted it to imitate that. Given that as my inspiration, I added few more colors like red, pink, or blue. So my main concept here is that I am going to make the paper wet, and only after that do I introduce my colors. And when I see that if at a particular spot it is too dark from what I imagine it to be, I just take a clean paintbrush and wipe off the color. Now at the edges you do see me here that I have added slightly darker color. This is because I am not using a black marker or I'm not using any outline, and I want the ball to have some definition, to stand out that this is the Christmas ornament. So that is the only reason I have added the darker red or the darker edges to the ball. Now while I'm waiting, I decided to do the bow. Now this is the other trick that I use. You don't really have to go for it if you're not adding the bow. Just let your paper sit and let the paint dry. But I get a bit restless. I can't just let it sit down and let it dry. So this is how I section my paintings. So if I know that I'm going to use a lot of water for one part of the painting, while it's drying, I'll start working on the other portion. So first I did the tree leaves, then why I know that okay, it is somewhat done, then I did the Christmas ornament, and while I'm waiting for it to dry out, I am doing the Christmas bow. And if everything is dry, good. Otherwise I think the Christmas ball wasn't dry yet, so I decided to do the place where you actually tie the knot at. So this is it. I do want to share another thing here, that this can be achieved with watercolor pencils, and actually that would be a great alternative if you are trying your blending techniques, or if you're trying something different from watercolor pencils. This is a very good example, because you can just shade a little extra the places where you want high pigmentation, and then using a clean paintbrush, you can just introduce as much water as you want, and just if you have, say for example, added a lot of color at one point, again the same trick, just use a clean paintbrush and just swipe the color off. So yeah, just try to keep the center, like you see the white portion on the ball here, just keep the center a little bit really less on color. Why is that? It is not just that I forgot about it. I did it specifically because I want it to have that shine, these twinkles and everything I'm going to add later, yes, but when you're looking at a curved surface, you definitely have one portion that has the highest brightness. Like on an apple, if you have a focus light coming from one point, you will see one portion of a apple, or your balloon will reflect light the most. So keeping that in mind, I left few portions on this curved surface with the minimum amount of color, and these are just the finishing touches. You don't really have to add these white tints. It can, you can definitely add it. As I said, those light that the reflection of the light, these are going to just imitate how you will see a well lit tree to look like. And it is always good to have a reference picture, or the actual, if you look at the Christmas tree, just get inspired, click a photo, just see which one do you like, and it would help you get as near to a realistic painting as you can. So these things can help. Again, this is completely subjective to what your art style is. So thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you like this video. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, and if you're new here, please do subscribe. I'll see you next time. Stay safe, stay healthy.